Everyone talks about retirement like it's the ultimate goal. But what if we told you that for a lot of people, retirement actually feels weird?
The truth is, after the celebration fades, a lot of retirees feel lost, bored, and some even depressed. But nobody ever wants to admit it.
This is Jim. He thought retirement would feel like freedom, when really it felt more like house arrest with chores.
And that's Steph. She thought she'd be living her best cruise life, but ended up organizing Tupperware and questioning her existence.
And together,
We're
we're
Unretired
Unretired
AF.
AF. Hello, and welcome to today's show where we're going to be talking about how retirement can sometimes feel a little weird. But before we go there, we want to give a big shout out to our subscribers. We had a lot of new subscribers this week. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you being here.
Absolutely.
And if this is your first time watching our show, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. And please consider hitting that subscribe button.
Please.
All right, today we are going to be talking about Dr. Riley Moynes, and he did a TED Talk. Jim and I watched it, and we really loved it. We'll tell you a little bit about Dr. Moynes. He is a Canadian author and a retired educator. He, as I said, he did a TED Talk, and it blew us away.
Yeah.
We have a link in the description, so you can watch it too. We really feel like it is really hitting the mark for the unretired AF crowd.
Definitely. So he interviewed hundreds of retirees, and with the data that he got from that, he created the 4 phases of retirement.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yep. And these 4 phases can help you understand where you are and more importantly, what's next in your life. And when we say, I mean, in this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about retirement, but just understand that we mean retirement and unretirement because we know that a lot of people are in, who are already retired are going to go into unretirement because of phase two, but we'll get into all that. So let's walk through these 4 phases, starting with the one that everyone dreams about.
Yeah, it's all the good stuff.
Yeah.
No alarm clocks, no demands, just bliss.
Right.
Phase one is what we call it, the vacation phase.
Phase one is that blissful sort of honeymoon period. You're sleeping in, you're not having to get up every day to the alarm clock, you're not having to carry the stress home from work. You don't have any of that, no schedule. You can do all the traveling you want. It's what we all were. So it's sort of the package that we were sold when we were younger. That's what retirement is.
You basically live every day like it's Saturday.
Right.
It's great until it isn't.
Right.
Because soon the thrill wears off and you're bored to death.
Right. And that's when things will start to shift.
Yeah. Yep. Cue up phase two. This is the one that hits harder than anyone ever expects. I know it did for me.
Phase two is brutal. It's where the identity crisis hits because you've been in your career, all these years, and all of a sudden you don't have your identity. I think that one hits men a little harder than women, but I think it hits women too. You're not the boss anymore, so if you were the boss at work, and all of a sudden you don't have anybody to boss around, you start bossing around your spouse.
At home, we never were the boss, though.
Right. Well, and you don't feel like you're needed anymore because you're not needed at work anymore. And then I think this tendency is that you can start to feel invisible.
Yeah, Casper the Ghost kind of feeling.
Right.
It's the phase that nobody warns you about.
Yeah, nobody told us.
No, it can lead to depression,
right?
Isolation, boredom.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are, it all is going to creep in.
But like a lot of things in life, when you hit rock bottom, it forces something.
Yeah.
It forces you to change. It can lead to reinvention where you start looking like, what the hell do I do now?
Absolutely. And that is where phase three kicks in. You start experimenting
Big time.
big time.
This is where you start throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. This is the time that you're going to start doing maybe some volunteer work.
Yep.
um if you need to still keep some money coming in, you can start experimenting with some different gig work. You can do online classes, you can do yoga. If you're so inclined, you can do pickleball. That seems to be the thing. I don't think I'll ever do pickleball just because of the connotation of it, but you're gonna try. It's like it's really finding your interest. It's,
Yeah, and there's no limit to that.
right.
It's like your body, of course, isn't, but it's like your mind can go back to being 22 again.
Right.
What do I want to do to change the world today?
Right.
Um, you know, we can all, as much as we all want to do physical things,
Right.
it's harder the older we get. We have stiff joints, but and we may hop along on one leg or our ear may hurt or something, but
Right.
that's still that still doesn't stop you from this phase to allow you to make things happen.
Right. Well, and then if you stick with it long enough, you just might find yourself in phase four, which is where purpose and all the things that were in crisis mode in phase
Yeah,
two, where that can finally return.
right.
This is where you stop chasing the past and you start something new. And many of us become unretired AF.
How about that?
People who retired, this is the phase where they become
Unretired.
unretired.
Yeah. And it's not going back. It's not about going back to who you were.
Right.
This is you're in the reinvention phase.
Right.
You're
Right.
creating someone new,
Yeah.
hopefully bigger and better than you were before. Now, it to me, I love waking up being excited about something that's going to happen that day. Honestly, the older we get, a lot of you probably felt like I have lately. You don't really want to even get up some days.
Right.
But this phase of things not makes you, it allows you to be excited about life again.
Right. Well, and you have to go through that phase. I mean, the phase two, the uncomfortableness, unfortunately, it's not comfort that spurs us to action, it's
Right.
uncomfort. So that uncomfortable feeling we have in phase two pushes us into phase three where we start
Yeah.
experimenting. And one of the things that we're going to have, I mean, Jim and I have, I've tried a bunch of different things that were failures. And you
But we
just
wouldn't have known if you wouldn't have tried.
well, exactly. And so you work through that phase until you find those things that, like Jim said, are exciting enough to you
Yeah.
that make you want to get up in the morning. So
When you watch the video, he talks about a friend of his and he shows a video that they were where were they at? They were at some event, and these guys basically gave free advice, and didn't matter if it was right or wrong, but that's just what they did, and they had fun with it. I thought that was awesome. I really enjoyed seeing that.
well, I think it just you gotta put in the work
Yeah,
to do some experimenting, try something new. Sometimes it can be hard at our age to be willing to step out and try something new.
yeah,
But if you want to get to phase four, where you've got your joy back
yeah,
again, and you're happy again, you have to fight through that uncomfortableness,
yeah,
and you have to experiment, and you've got to try some new things. So hopefully, we're encouraging you to do that. We're doing that ourselves.
yeah.
I mean, this channel has been an exercise in everything new for us that
It
we're
has,
learning,
it has.
and you just gotta try it. We're having a lot of fun with it, and I
We are,
think there's a lot of different things that you can try that you could find to be fun for you.
yeah,
So
yeah,
well, I think the takeaway for today's episode is, so if your retirement hasn't been all freedom and sunsets and all of that, and just know that you're not alone. There's a lot of people. I would suspect a good percentage of people that retire that once they, I think that vacation phase would get old real quick.
Yeah.
He said that, it's about a year for
Yep.
people.
Yep.
And then they start feeling dissatisfied with retirement again, and then it it starts the other phases.
Right.
So just know that you're not alone. You're just in a different phase than you thought you might be right now, and it can feel weird at times.
Yeah. And, maybe it's not about being retired at all. Maybe the real freedom is in unretirement
Yeah.
on your own terms.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
So we have a comment section. If you have a comment on this episode, or if you just want to tell us something, please drop a line in the comment section. We will answer every one of them. I know other people are reading comments people are putting in as well. It's encouraging to see that picking up.
Yeah.
And again, Tab said it earlier. We sincerely appreciate all our subscribers. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, and give us some feedback on our new setup. We're trying to change things up with our set here to make it better. So give us some feedback if you like it. If you don't like it, we want to hear that too.
Yeah.
Please don't let us embarrass ourselves if
Right.
it's not good.
Right.
Let us know. And if you like our content and you want to hear more of it, you want to see more of it in your feed, please consider hitting that subscribe button. We put out new content every Monday through Friday. Well, we're not slowing down.
And neither should you.
And together, we're Unretired AF.